This is the chaotic, high-volume ecosystem of old-school food processing. Aligned and cleaned, the raw material enters the mechanical heart of the factory. Now shredded, the surface area is maximized for the critical debittering stage. Gravity feeds the seasoned shreds into the volumetric filler. These massive pressure vessels are the critical kill step for bacteria. The cans are dangerously hot and must be cooled rapidly. With quality confirmed, the packs are stacked for bulk transport. Deep in the tropics, the journey of the banana blossom begins long before the factory lines start moving. Harvesting this fibrous flower requires a firm grip and perfect timing. One clean strike separates the banana blossom from the mother plant. Before the sap hardens, the banana blossom must be secured and moved. Hundreds of pounds of raw material accumulate in the humid heat. It's back-breaking labor to load the banana blossom for the rough journey ahead. With the harvest complete, the banana blossom heads to the processing facility. The transit is rough, but these fibrous banana blossoms are built to withstand the journey. Packed tight, the load must survive the heat and vibration without bruising. Every gear shift brings the raw banana blossom closer to its industrial transformation. Entering the industrial zone, the terrain hardens and the destination comes into view. Approved for entry, the raw material moves into the facility's restricted zone.
Positioned at the intake bay, the banana blossom is ready for the rough processing line.
This facility has stood for decades, its walls stained by the tropical humidity and constant production.
The workforce arrives early, ready to process the banana blossom before the heat rises.
The intake bay is the first checkpoint for the raw harvest. Manual unloading ensures each banana blossom is handled with speed and rough efficiency.
Every kilogram is accounted for before the banana blossom enters the main line. From the dock, the raw material is driven deep into the heart of the plant. Passing the threshold, the environment shifts from storage to active production. This is the chaotic, high-volume ecosystem of old-school food processing. The intake hopper feeds the continuous line, stripping the order from the chaos.
The journey into the wet processing stage begins here. Strict oversight ensures the vintage machinery keeps pace with the harvest. Now, the banana blossom must be stripped of field dirt and prepared for cutting.
High-pressure jets strip away the field debris, preparing the outer skin for removal.
In this old-school facility, human hands are still the most efficient tool for initial sorting.
The tough outer bracts and bitter florets must be removed to reach the tender heart.
Almost half the weight is discarded here, leaving only the nutrient-rich core. Precision trimming removes the woody stem, exposing the bleeding white latex.
Speed is critical. The banana blossom oxidizes and darkens seconds after being cut.
To stop the browning, the hearts are immediately submerged in a citric acid solution. Mechanical agitation ensures every crevice is treated before processing continues. Emerging from the bath, the stabilized hearts are chemically prepped for the slicers. Quality control is continuous, ensuring no tough fibers make it to the blades. The byproduct is washed away, keeping the line moving without obstruction. Aligned and cleaned, the raw material enters the mechanical heart of the factory. Here, the gentle handling ends, and the destructive processing begins. In a fraction of a second, the solid heart is transformed into uniform shreds. The high-speed rotary blades reduce the solid hearts into uniform fibrous strands. Now shredded, the surface area is maximized for the critical debittering stage. The shreds plunge into a concentrated brine bath to leach out the natural bitterness.
Without this extended soak, the natural tannins would make the product inedible.
Saturated and debittered, the banana blossom enters the thermal processing zone. Inside this pressurized tunnel, steam penetrates the tough fibers. Continuous heat breaks down the cellular structure, softening the texture. Emerging from the steam tunnel, the banana blossom is fully cooked and sterilized. A rapid cold water shock prevents the shreds from turning into mush.
Excess moisture is shaken off to prepare the product for the final mixture.
Manual inspection confirms the texture is soft yet resilient. Before flavoring, the line passes through magnetic safeguards. The base product is now ready for the formulation stage. Gravity feeds the cooked shreds into the industrial tumblers for seasoning. A final tumble ensures the banana blossom is evenly seasoned before packaging. Gravity feeds the seasoned shreds into the volumetric filler. Thousands of empty vessels enter the line, awaiting the product. Every can is inverted and blasted clean to ensure sterility. Old-school volumetric fillers rely on physical volume rather than digital weight. Mechanical tamping compresses the fibers to ensure the correct net weight. A hot, saline brine is prepared to preserve the texture and flavor.
Hot brine fills the voids, driving out oxygen and creating a vacuum.
The lid is placed, capturing the heat and steam inside. The double seam operation hermetically seals the banana blossom for long-term storage.
A perfect seam is the only barrier between the product and spoilage.
The exterior is scrubbed clean of brine before the sterilization phase. The line accumulates, building a batch for the massive pressure cookers. Stacked and crated, the banana blossom is ready for the final cook. Heavy lifting automation takes over to move the multi-ton batches. These massive pressure vessels are the critical kill step for bacteria. Once loaded, The batch is isolated for high-pressure sterilization. The vessel is hermetically sealed, capable of withstanding immense internal pressure. Analog automation tracks temperature and time with legal precision.
Steam is injected, driving the internal temperature above 121 degrees Celsius.
Under pressure, water boils at higher temperatures, penetrating the can's center.
For 6 minutes, the banana blossom is cooked to commercial sterility.
Controlled venting releases the pressure safely before the vessel can be opened. The batch emerges, sterilized and shelf-stable for years. The cans are dangerously hot and must be cooled rapidly. A thermal shock in the cooling canal sets the final texture. Cooled and cleaned, the cans are dumped back onto the line for finishing.
High-velocity air strips away all moisture, preparing the metal for labeling.
The naked cans enter the finishing line to receive their identity. Hot melt adhesive is applied with precision to secure the label's leading edge. In milliseconds, the industrial tin is transformed into a branded product. Optical sensors ensure every label is aligned and secure. Batch codes provide full traceability from the farm to the pantry.
Magnetic elevators transport the finished cans to the packaging zone. The stream is divided, organizing the cans for bulk bundling.
Automated packers group the individual units for wholesale distribution. A loose sleeve of plastic is applied before the heat tunnel. Thermal contraction creates a secure, tamper-proof bundle. Cooling air sets the plastic, locking the structural integrity.
Secondary labeling ensures the bundle is ready for warehouse logistics.
Gravity assists the final transport to the palletizing station.
The production line ends here, but the quality checks are far from over. Behind the noise of production lies the silent precision of the quality lab.
Random samples are pulled from every batch to verify the seal and vacuum.
Drained weight is a critical metric. Customers pay for product, not just water.
Acidity levels must be precise to prevent bacterial growth during storage.
A refractometer checks the brine density, ensuring the salt balance is perfect.
Too much salt ruins the taste. Too little risks preservation failure.
Mechanical resistance testing confirms the texture is tender, not tough.
Petri dishes incubate for days to prove the sterilization process was successful.
Backlit inspection reveals even the smallest imperfections or discolorations.
Microscopic analysis of the can seam guarantees a hermetic seal. Sample batches are stressed in the warm room to simulate years of shelf life. Only with the lab's stamp of approval can the shipment be released.
Digital records lock the quality data to the specific production lot.
With the science settled, the product is ready for the final logistics phase. With quality confirmed, the packs are stacked for bulk transport. Stretch wrapping stabilizes the load for the long journey ahead. Heavy logistics machinery takes over to move the finished stock.
The warehouse is a cathedral of industry, holding months of production.
Precision stacking maximizes every cubic inch of storage space.
Digital inventory systems track the location of every single can.
When an order comes in, the stock is pulled for immediate dispatch.
The banana blossom doesn't stay long. Demand keeps the inventory moving. Loading is a game of Tetris, fitting the maximum weight into the container.
Packed tight, the cargo is protected against humidity and sea air. The security seal guarantees the product remains untouched until delivery.
The engine roars, signaling the end of the factory's responsibility.
From a raw tropical flower to a shelf-ready staple, the journey is complete.
The logistics network distributes the banana blossom worldwide.
Finally, the product reaches the hands of the consumer.
Versatile and sustainable, it's a plant-based staple created by heavy industry.
It takes hundreds of people and precise machinery to make this happen.
That's the difference quality makes.
And this is how modern factories produce banana blossom from start to finish.
The scale of production never stops.
From the soil to the shelf, this is the reality of food manufacturing. Subscribe for more real factory breakdowns.